Are you a coach, creative, or healer looking to overcome mindset and money blocks so that you can confidently show up in your business? Join the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship and learn the exact steps to see your business grow week after week. This 12-week journey of empowerment and abundance starts in June. And right now, we have an early bird special. It's time to take your passion and make it into your dream career. Join the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship today. Hello, thank you so much for being here today. I wanted to share what I've been reflecting on lately. I have my program, the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship, that's going to be starting in June. And that has given me the opportunity to look back on my own journey as a soulful entrepreneur. And I wanted to share with you because maybe you can relate and maybe you're currently in a place where I was 9 years ago. I can't believe that in November of 2015 is when I took my first training to become a certified breathwork coach. And at the time, my only intention to do it was I just wanted to learn more. It was never with the intention to have it be a business. I, at the time, was still really loving acting. I was also working in casting. I also had a bunch of side hustle jobs as well. But doing this training, it was the gift to myself. My soul was telling me, you have to do this. And the practical part of my brain was, why? Why are you going to spend all this money to do that if you don't necessarily want to do anything more with it? But I'm so glad that I listened to my soul nudging me to take this because doing this one workshop, this certification program to become a breathwork coach, facilitator, or just to know more about the power of your breath completely changed my life. And I had no idea that that's what was going to happen. So I'm grateful for the me of 9 years ago who took the leap. And already I had been dabbling in other healing modalities. I had already done a training for theta healing, which I thought was really fascinating, but it just didn't resonate as a tool to share with other people. But when it came to breath work, like I loved how simple it was, yet how powerful. So, how it ended up unfolding was really quickly after, I think it was that same week, the training for my breathwork certification program was over a weekend. And then the following weekend, I hosted my first breathwork circle. So I sent a text to all my friends and I said, hey, why don't we come together and breathe? And they were like, what are you talking about? I already am breathing. Why would we have to come together to breathe? I'm like, no, trust me. Like, this is going to be a type of meditation. It's really powerful. It's going to change your life. Like, come join me. So from that text blast to my friends, only 3 people, I believe, showed up, and one of them was my sister who I was living with at the time, and then my neighbor. Oh, no, actually, there were 4 of them, and my sister's friend, and then another friend of mine, and their dogs. So, it was a human and pet breathwork session all at once, and for that first session, like, yeah, I was scared. A bunch of imposter syndrome came up. It's like literally just a week ago I did this training and now I'm hosting my first circle, but that's how quickly I work. And I didn't want to waste all this time. Like, again, I wasn't even charging or anything. Literally, it was just the excitement to share this practice with people that I cared about. And so I showed up imperfectly. I showed up, as prepared as I could be. And people had an experience. They cried, they released, they healed. It was so beautiful. And after that first session, I was like, oh, okay, this could be fun. And so I just continued to show up that way and just host them in different friends' houses throughout LA, apartments. They invited their friends, their community, and then got to a certain point where I was like, all right, I need to at least be asking for a donation. Like people are having these huge breakthroughs. And I was just giving it away because, again, I wasn't doing this as a job. I had my commercials going, I had my job in casting and other stuff. And so this was just like my gift to people. But at at a certain point, there was tension where I needed to be compensated for my time. And then also, whenever there's an exchange, it holds people accountable to show up for themselves as well. So there was a point as I continued to hold space for people and my breathwork circle started to grow. And then people wanted to do private sessions. My business unfolded naturally. With that, then there started to become tension with the other work that I was doing, with the acting and with working in casting. And the other work that I had been doing my whole basically since I graduated college. So almost, I don't know, let's just say 15 years. A big part of my life. It was so much of my identity. It was what people knew me as, right? Like the commercial actress where I played mom in all these commercials. I was known in town, like I had a amazing rep. I had relationships with casting directors, like I was considered successful. And for me to leave that and step into this unknown felt really terrifying. And so my approach with so much of the things that I do in my life is that I'm a risk taker, but I'm more of a calculated risk taker. So I have to do things where I don't dysregulate my nervous system so much into doing something new. Like I wasn't going to quit everything cold turkey because I had no safety net. And for me, that would have been too much for my nervous system, which would have made it hard for me to show up for my clients. After all, I have to be fully present. I have to feel full and grounded and well in order to show up for my students and clients. And so little by little, I mean, the universe reflects back to you what your thoughts are. That's my whole approach into manifesting. It's like what you're thinking is probably what you have in your life right now. And so if it's not what you want in your life, can we change those thoughts? And so my attention shifted more to my healing practice and to holding space for people. And that started to grow little by little by little. Then I remember maybe it was 5 years ago, maybe 6, where I made the declaration where it's like, "All right, I'm going all in this breathwork business." Again, I wasn't even referring to it as business, but like, "This is gonna work. This is what I wanna do. This is what lights me up. This is, like, what fuels me, what makes me so happy." I feel like I finally found something where I was able to combine me being able to make a positive impact in the world, which has always been one of my core values, even as a child. Like, I always, whether I was conscious of it or not, wanted to bring positivity into the world. Not just positivity, but wanted to help people. And this doing having my healing business, having my breathwork practice allowed me to do that. And so I just wanted to continue to grow it, but I didn't know how. I was really struggling. Again, I didn't have a business background, like I came from the arts. However, because I did have the background in advertising where I was working, behind the scenes as well in casting, I learned how to, and I also took some marketing classes as well as part of my degree at UC Berkeley, business classes and marketing. So I did have some understanding, but it wasn't what I did every single day of my life, right? But I always felt like I had really good ideas and I was someone that was creative. So that background of advertising and marketing and also sales helped me naturally just figure it out. However, this natural figuring it out, like trying things out, failing, not knowing exactly how to make it sustainable. My experience with working with healers was you would just do a one off private session. But as a business model, that's really hard to sustain. The people that I had worked with had decades of experience. And so they had a really big, loyal client base. And I was just starting out. So that wasn't quite translating. So it wasn't until I came up with the idea to create a container, my reset program, which is my one on one healing program. At first, I just started with 4 weeks. And that really allowed not just myself, but my client to actually have transformation. Like a one off session can have a great release of energy. People will have this natural high and feel that everything's better now. They will have a breakthrough that they've never had in their 20 years of therapy. However, it takes more than one session to really have true transformation. And I was my own example of that. Like, I didn't just do one breathwork session, right? I did it for years for myself. I made it a daily practice. I worked with practitioners, on a consistent basis. And so that's where the ideas started to come out. But I was still struggling. Like at this point, like I really just wanted to be done with commercials and auditioning and acting. Anytime that I got an audition notice, instead of being grateful, I was feeling resentful. I was feeling like it was a waste of my time. And you know what? Because I was feeling that way and I had that energy imprinted into my auditions, I was not really working. What used to be consistent jobs that I would book, the in between time between bookings became longer and longer. And so with that, I realized, hey, I need to like figure this out. So, how does one figure this out? One thing that I think a lot of soulful entrepreneurs, whether you are a creative, you are a coach, you are a healer, a practitioner, you have a service, or you help people with offering your services. I think one of the things that I have come across over and over again, and this is also coming from experience from hiring creatives and soulful entrepreneurs, is that we tend to struggle with the business aspect. Like we're so gifted and talented in sharing our actual gifts. Yet when it comes to creating a business model or charging for our services, we really struggle. And so then with that, we may not be making as much money as we would like in order to feel abundant, to not be worrying about money so much. And so I didn't really see out there any program that spoke to that. There were business courses and coaches for what I thought was a different type of business, but not for what I was doing. And so it took me way too long. If I could do my business over again, or if I could start over, if it was 2015, I would definitely invest right away, not just in more certifications and trainings and healing modalities, but I would invest in mentors and business coaches, in sales courses, like in the business stuff so that I could actually make a bigger impact, the impact that I want to do with my clients. So it took me about 4, maybe even 5 years to figure that part out. I wasted, well, I hate saying that I wasted time, but it took me way too long of a time to figure things out, right? Then once I started to work with people, that's when I started to also see growth in my business. I am hardworking. I work really fast. I produce quickly as well. And so you don't need to tell me more than once to do something. I'll do it. Right. And so that's when I started to get the results that I wanted. And at the end of the day, what I wanted was for more people to know about my work. Obviously, it was also helpful that we had the pandemic and that people were really stressed out and scared and had time on their hands and had some disposable income that they decided, okay, this is the time for me to look at myself. For so long, I've just been living life in the same way and I'm not happy. Something needs to change. And so that brought a lot of people into my world to work with me and help them, whether it was work on their healing or manifestation or whatever goals they had for themselves. 4 years ago, I created my Dream Bigger Mastermind. And in that program, I would attract a lot of healers, creatives, coaches, people who aren't necessarily in your traditional corporate. I mean, a lot of them actually do have like corporate jobs, but they tend to be with more creative companies, whether it's fashion or beauty, or maybe they're graphic designers or photographers. And with that, I learned that the reason why they wanted to join Dream Bigger Mastermind is because they had this idea, this passion project. They wanted to do something else besides their 9 to 5 job. And so within the Dream Bigger Mastermind, I was helping them either birth this business idea, this soulful business idea, or they were already doing it. And I was helping them to create a strong foundation for their business so that they can grow it and be sustainable. However, there was only so much I could do within these group sessions, right? And there's different goals that people are working with. For some people, we're working on mindset. For other people, it's more actionable steps. But basically, this program, the Dream Bigger Mastermind, is my holistic approach to helping you manifest whatever it is that you're looking to manifest. So that gave me the idea that I needed to create a program for these type of soulful entrepreneurs, for these creatives and coaches, for people who have a service or a product that's making a positive impact in the world, a program to teach them the fundamentals of business. Everything that I had learned over the last, at this point, was 8 years in my own business. I wanted to present it in a really accessible way so that they could create a strong foundation within their business. And so that gave birth last year to the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship. And I'm excited to share with you that I'm bringing it back this year. We're going to be starting June again. This is one of my most accessible programs. If you want to learn from me, if you want actual results within yourself, you need to check out this program. It is 3 months, and every week there's a different teaching lesson that I give to you, from clarifying what your unique gifts are to working on our money mindset, knowing what you should charge, how you should charge. One of the things that I feel I'm really good at is coming up with a unique offer for you, for whatever your business is, for whatever your idea is. That's where my creativity and then my business mind come to play. And I have come up with really powerful, unique offerings that make my clients stand out. I'll give you an example. So in my last group, I was helping a person. She works in HR, has had a very successful career in that, but she also behind the scenes loves magic and she reads tarot cards. And so I suggested to her, I'm like, why don't you fuse the two? You help women get out of their toxic jobs. And you do that by practical HR advice and then also doing readings for them and see what the cards have to say. When I told her that idea, and everyone else who heard that idea, they were like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect for you. So, those are the type of things that I really love to help my clients with. So, with that example, this isn't just like a PowerPoint presentation of 101 business fundamentals. There will be some of that, but it's called mentorship for a reason. You have access to my ideas, to my suggestions. We can bounce off, workshop what you want to create, what you want to offer, so that you can feel confident about these offerings, so that you can show up as an authority figure, as someone who knows what they're talking about in this topic, and then have people buy it from you. Have people book your services because you're solving a problem that they've been struggling with. So I wanted to share this with you because maybe you have never thought of yourself as a soulful entrepreneur, but I have a feeling that you probably do have an idea. something that when you connect with it, it just makes you smile. It makes your heart feel open and you feel like you're beaming. But then there might be another part of you, the logical part of your brain, the fear, other people's projections that's telling you, why should you even bother? You have a good job, stay where you're at, don't rock the boat. Like, how are you going to make money from that? You're too old to do that now. There's already so many people who are doing that. Who are you to go out and offer this? Am I in your head or what? All of that, right? And so, sure, basically, that's just our brain protecting us from the unknown. That's what it's meant to do, right? So, we don't have to make it that serious either. We can just be like, right, thank you. I hear you. I know that you're trying to protect me, but I also want to explore this idea. I actually want to grow this project that I already started. I want to bring more life into it. And so, if that's the case for you, then you got to be in this next round of the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship. I'm only offering it once a year. My idea with this is to turn it into a course. So, if you're looking for my actual guidance, I really invite you to join this round this year of the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship because I don't know what it's going to look like next year. And I can't wait. Like, literally, this is one of my favorite things. I'm going to continue doing the other stuff, the healing work, the manifestation, the up leveling, the retreats, and all that. But I also really love business and I love marketing and I love selling and I love helping people create and feel more comfortable doing that for themselves too. I feel like if more people actually follow their heart, if more people actually follow that nudge that they have of creating their passion into more than just a passion, but actually making it accessible so that more people know about it, so that you can share it with other people. How beautiful would our world be, right? There would just be so much more positivity and things out there that really help humanity versus just selling for the sake of selling, right? It's we have intentional things out in the world. And so that's one of my other missions that I want to do in the world, right? To help you give birth to this positivity, to these ideas that are going to create inspiration and love and positivity into the world. And I'm going to help you do that in the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship. Before we wrap up, let's connect with that idea that lights you up. So if you're able to, I'm going to invite you to sit back and close your eyes. And we're going to take some gentle, deep breaths in and out. And as you're slowly and gently breathing, we're going to imagine that our body's softening and relaxing. And I want you to think about that one thing that lights you up. That idea, that service, that product. Imagine yourself offering it and imagine people receiving it and creating a positive impact in that person's life. They're grateful for it. You feel really good that you created this and that people are seeing value in it and that it's helping them. And so allow that positivity, allow that joy, allow that excitement to fill up your body. And now let's take it an extra step. What if by doing this idea can actually replace your 9 to 5 job? What if you now have the freedom to decide when you're working, where you're working from, when you take your vacation, when you take your breaks? What if this gives you the freedom and the financial abundance to live the life of your dreams? And give yourself permission in this moment to go to that place, even if it feels impossible, even if it feels so far away. Because let me tell you, if you can imagine it, you most definitely can make it into a reality. And so let's breathe in the possibility. Let's breathe in maybe the commitment that, you know what, I do want to give this a chance. I don't want to wait a whole other year to go by before I think about doing it again. And what if you just gave a little bit of life to it? What if you took and spent a little bit more time on it, which allowed it to grow even more? And naturally, it unfolds into whatever you want it to be and become. So let's breathe in some safety into it. Let's breathe in the trust within yourself that you can do this. And let's take a deep breath in and exhale. And taking your time to slowly and gently come back. Didn't that feel good? To imagine your idea, to imagine your business, to imagine your practice growing to the place making such a big impact in the world, that then you can also have the freedom to live the life that you've always wanted to live. And so if you're feeling excited, before you even consider joining the Dream Bigger Mastermind, I do have a couple free offerings for you to give it a shot, to start to move some energy, some of the fear and resistance to it. One of them is the 3 steps to manifest your dream clients. You can click on the show notes to download for free. And then the other one, I'm hosting a live event the first week of June. And at this live event, this is calling in clients, confidence, and cash. And it's for any soulful entrepreneur that, again, wants to learn some tools, that wants to move some energy. And I'll also share with you more details about the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship. Also, if you're ready to just jump in, you need to sign up today because I have an early bird special. So this program with the early bird is $1,495. So just under $1,500. This is 3 months in my energy of me giving you support. This is the most accessible program that I have because I know that sometimes investing in ourselves can be our biggest block and your brain convinces you not to. And so I wanted it to be a price point where it might still be a stretch for you, but it's more likely that you're going to do it. So I would love to have you in. I would love to coach you, mentor you, help you feel confident, move energy, do some reprogramming and healing as well so that we can feel confident and clear as well of how we want to show up. So I hope you will be part of this round of the Soulful Entrepreneur Mentorship. I can't wait to be your mentor. Please reach out if you have any questions. And don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on this idea. We need this in the world. And so I ask you that you find that courage to make it happen, however it is that you're able to in this moment. Let's do it. All right, friend, I will talk to you real soon. Have an amazing day, evening, whatever time it is for you. Sending you so much love, and we'll be back soon.